Well, hello and welcome to the beautiful Wild Basin area of Rocky Mountain National Park. Now, most visitors to Rocky have no idea that this area even exists, and those who do generally don't see very much of it. So today, I'm going to take you high up into the very heart of Wild Basin, up to Thunder Lake, a beautiful mountain lake surrounded by jagged peaks. In fact, if you're looking to do some of the best hikes in Rocky Mountain National Park, then this hike definitely needs to be on your list. However, it's not for everyone. It's about 13 miles round trip with over 2,000 feet of elevation gain. I hope that many of you will do this hike, but even if you just go a short way, there's a lot to see. I'm excited to show it to you today, so let's get started. Wild Basin is located in the southeast corner of Rocky Mountain National Park, just off of Highway 7. It has its own entrance and cannot be reached by car from other areas of the park. In fact, not only do other roads not connect with this area of the park, but there are almost no trails that connect with this area either. And that's because Wild Basin is in a deep, forested valley protected by high peaks on three sides. But today, we're going to be hiking up through this forested valley and into the very heart of Wild Basin, where the trees give way and the stunning peaks finally show themselves. From the entrance station, we will follow the gravel road for just over 2 miles. This road will lead us alongside the North St. Vrain Creek and deep into the forest. Now, although this road is gravel and can be a bit bumpy and dusty, most cars can usually do it without a problem. The Wild Basin parking area does tend to fill quite early in the morning, so you want to be here by 7 a.m. to help ensure that there's a parking spot. On weekends, you'll want to be here even earlier. Starting your hike early is a really good idea, not only for parking, but also to avoid exposure to thunderstorms and to avoid returning in the dark, because it takes most people around 9 hours to do the entire hike round trip. Be sure you have plenty of water or a water filter, food, warm clothing, and a rain jacket. If it's midsummer, you may also want to bring some bug spray, as there can occasionally be mosquitoes up at the lake. As we begin our hike, this first section of trail is very wide and very gentle, but it's also quite beautiful. Now, if you come later in the day, the trail will be packed with families and those just wanting a gentle stroll. In just 0.3 miles, we arrive at Copeland Falls, where there are several small but very pretty waterfalls. The trail continues upward alongside the North St. Vrain Creek. Just over a mile, we reach our first intersection. While you can turn right here to get to Thunder Lake, it is a very rocky trail, and you'll miss out on some great views. So, let's continue straight ahead. We then cross over the stream, and soon we begin to climb up a new set of stairs that Rocky's trail crew just installed. We arrive at Calypso Cascades, where Coney Creek crashes down over the rocks for about 150 feet. It's always a cool and refreshing spot to stop, and is a good destination for many people. We then head back into the forest and soon resume our upward climb. Eventually, we arrive at Ouzel Falls. Now the spur trail back to the falls is pretty wet and pretty rough, but it offers a great view of the falls. As we leave Ouzel Falls, we cross over a very high bridge, and almost immediately the trail becomes quieter with very few hikers on it at all. We then pass our next intersection. This one leads up to Bluebird Lake, but we'll have to save that for another day. After crossing over the stream, we reconnect with that first trail we passed by, and here we turn left. We then have a very nice long stretch of relatively flat trail. Eventually, the trail begins to climb again. Our trail then passes another intersection that heads steeply upward. We now have just under 2 miles left to go. As we head upward, you'll begin to hear the sound of a roaring waterfall far across the valley. There are a few spots along the way where there's a break in the trees and you can get a good view of both the upper and lower falls. Soon, you'll notice that the forest is changing and becoming much more open. Beautiful marshy meadows begin to appear, some of them filled with wildflowers. You'll then start to notice mountains beginning to appear high above the trees. In just a few minutes, you'll reach the final intersection. To the right is camping for Thunder Lake, but we're going to turn left and head downhill to the lake itself. Well, welcome to magnificent Thunder Lake. You know, when you walk out of the trees, you finally escape the forest after miles and miles of hiking and come upon this view. It's just breathtaking. It's just one of my favorite views in the park. And as you can see, we've got a little ranger station here. They're only used for occasional projects, work on the trail, or emergency situations, but it's still so cute, so pretty to have up here. And behind me is Mount Alice and Pilot Mountain, and right next to me over here is Thunder Lake itself. It's just such a peaceful place, so quiet and just idyllic. And there are wildflowers all around, Mount Tanama over to this side. I just love being up here. Before I finish, I just want to mention a couple of things. When doing long hikes like this, sometimes it can look rather easy, but you do need to keep in mind that you do have to be very fit, acclimated to the higher elevation, and you have to have some knowledge about what you're doing out in the wilderness, because we do have people who get into trouble out here. Now, the biggest mistake that I see out in the mountains, and that happens again and again, and which happened, I learned about yesterday with tragic results, was that people ignored quite often the cardinal rule for hiking in the mountains. And the cardinal rule for hiking in the mountains is to always, always, always let someone know where you are going, when you plan to return, and the route you plan to take. And that person should be someone who knows that if you don't show up, that they need to contact emergency services and tell them where you've gone. Because if no one knows and you get into trouble, there's no one who's going to come looking for you. They won't even know where to start. So always let someone know. I do that. I let my wife know where I'm going, and then I stick to my plan. So do that, dress appropriately, don't push yourself beyond your limits, and work up to these longer hikes, and you'll have a great time. We all need to spend time out in the mountains. It's good for the soul. It's good to remember that we're part of this world, and this is where we reset and remember what's really, truly important in life. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed this hike today. If you want all the details about where to stop and mileage and elevation, then check out my book, Hiking Rocky Mountain National Park, The Essential Guide. It also contains about 74 other hikes, as well as all the information you need to know about staying safe in the Rocky Mountains. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, or even better, leave a comment. I hope to see all of you out on the trail. To help you prepare for your visit to Rocky Mountain National Park, visit my website, rockymountainnationalpark.com. For hiking guides, calendars, coffee table books, and more, visit rockytrailpress.com. And when you arrive, be sure and stop by my gallery in downtown Estes Park. It's called Images of Rocky Mountain National Park.